Well, hello, everyone. We're in a different location. Let me know if you can hear me. We have late breaking news at the Kizzy News Network. Late breaking news. So I'm here to talk about the 8A program, but I need to make sure that everyone can hear me. So for those of you who are joining, please make sure that you can hear me because, yeah, please make sure you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Let me see. Okay, you all can hear me, so that's good. Okay, great. Okay, so 8A program. So we're going to talk about the 8A program, y'all. I've received so many emails, so many comments. It's an old picture of my KPC team. Degree in the background. Make it official. Insert Kizzy News Network music here. Y'all know one day we're going to have an amazing, one day I will have an amazing studio, people doing all this, amazing news, all kinds of things happening. Until then, we do the best that we can do. Because my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, and I am the #1 source for all government contracting news that impacts small businesses, hands down. So I've received a lot of emails and comments and LinkedIn messages and Facebook messages around the 8A program. Everyone wants to know, is the 8A program going away? Is it halted? Is this program halted? So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this today. And if you think I should bring someone on, like somebody who works, maybe they used to work in the 8A program, or somebody who's a lawyer. If you think I should have someone on, whether on a live or I interview them, type yes in the chat now here in real time, or if you're watching the re-stream. Please do. Please do. If you think this is something that we should do. Okay, I'm getting a lot of yeses. This is good. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha. Oh, I love Hawaii. Oh, it's nice. It's like almost 2 o'clock. No, almost 1 o'clock your time. Yes. Okay, this is great. This is amazing. So let me break this down. Let's break this down. First and foremost, yeah, this background. Okay. The 8A, could this affect other set-asides? This is great. This is great. I'm so glad you all have these amazing questions. So here's the situation. So the 8A program, it's one in which you have to apply. And what's happened is I was in the 8A program. I first joined the program in 2011. And this is great because Todd has a great remark, and let's talk about that. So this program was not created for African Americans or brown people. This program was created to help small business owners to be able to compete against big companies. That's why it was created. There was an economic component. So just let that simmer for a minute. This program was not created to help brown people. And it's not a program for brown people. It's socioeconomic disadvantage. But we're going to get into that. And hello, everyone. So we're going to get deep into that because this touches on the current situation, the court case in the great state of Tennessee. You know, every state in America is great. So I joined the program in 2011. I paid Easy 8A, who I love, and I recommend everyone use Easy 8A. And so here's the deal. When I applied for the program, I'm sorry, y'all, I got to tell y'all, Kizzy News Network, you get the whole story. This is unbiased. You're getting the whole story. I'm here to help you all, my amazing GovCon winners. This is late breaking news. That's why I had to bring it to you here. The thing is, I applied via paper. My application was no joke about that high. I had to FedEx it to the SBA. Woo, KNN. So again, for those of you joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. I've been awarded over $70 million in federal government contracts, and I'm a graduate of the 8A program. Many think it's been canceled. It's been halted. So we're talking about it. So at that point in time, I had to create a narrative to talk about how I had experienced adverse events due to how I'm viewed in the world, due to my race, due to my gender, due to these different factors. There was an elaborate narrative. I think it was 3 to 5 pages that highlighted all of these situations. Because here's what's key. It's socioeconomically disadvantaged. So if you have a net worth of $10 million, I take Deion Sanders. And the reason I'm going to bring up Deion Sanders is I recall there was this time where it was a long time ago. I believe one of his kids posted something online about like coming from the dirt or something of that sort. And Deion Sanders replied back with like, what are you talking about? That never happened to you. So this is a great example. So if, let's say, Deion Sanders, or let's say his children have a multitude of resources, okay? This using Deion Sanders because I like Deion Sanders. I love football. And, go Lions. Going to take over the division. Let's say Deion Sanders was like, oh, man, I heard about this 8A program. I heard it's for Black people. I'm going to apply. Okay. Those of you who are still listening, you know it's not for Black people. And Deion Sanders would not qualify. He wouldn't qualify. Just on the economic part, he wouldn't qualify. And then here's the other piece. Just because someone is in one of the protected classes, Native American, Asian, Native Hawaiian, Black, doesn't mean you've experienced discrimination. So what happened between when I first applied in 2011, right? I had to write an essay. I had to send an essay. They came back with all kinds of questions. And then in 2011, September 2nd, I received my 8A. And then the previous administration granted everyone who had an 8A an additional year. So I technically had the 8A for 10 years. Okay, it's a 9-year program designed to help small, socially, economically disadvantaged businesses grow. I thank y'all for being here with me on the Kizzy News Network. Got a little different background. I'm here in my KPC headquarters in amazing Melbourne, Florida. So, sometime after that, the requirement to write the essay was no longer needed. It was kind of now assumed that if you were in one of those classes, you had experienced some type of discrimination, adverse act. It was assumed. So the case in Tennessee is around a female entrepreneur who basically is saying this is violating, I think she said, the Fifth Amendment, because you're discriminating here. So I have a quote here. I'm going to read to you all. The court prohibited the SBA from future use of the presumption in administering the 8A program. This immediately impacts pending applications, things of that nature. However, all new 8A applicants will be required to be treated equally and to present facts and evidence that the individual applicant has suffered social disadvantage that has negatively impacted his or her entry into or advancement in the business world. So again, in layman terms, this is all around this assumption. So again, in 2011, when I submitted my 8A application, I graduated the program a couple years ago, I had to write a narrative that explained how I was discriminated against. That's basically what they're saying in so many words. Okay, and again, what I read to you came from a variety of resources. That's why I read it to you. That's why you might have seen my head down, because I'm not here. I'm here just to give you unbiased news and information. That's all I'm here to do. Okay, so this business owner had contracts with a federal agency. Happens to be USDA, happens to be my favorite agency. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. So she had contracts with the USDA, and then they started to move them into the 8A program. I also believe some have said she no longer qualified for those contracts because of the size standard. So in the federal government, your NAICS code is indicative of your size standard. So if you're in a NAICS code and you bust the size standard, you're no longer considered small. Okay, so I'm just providing some background, because again, there's a lot of this confusion. There's this assumption that, oh, the Supreme Court justices, they ruled against diversity. Now they're trying to take away the 8A. There's this whole machine trying to take away everything. Listen, are there lots of machines out there doing a lot of different things? Of course. I'm just providing the background, because what we do, and there's a psychological principle all around this, is we naturally assume that when things occur by each other or are similar, we assume that they're related. We make a connection. Like something simple, like you see a group of people standing. Like for instance, I went to dinner last night. I was with a friend, and there were 4 of us standing there. And so the person at the desk was like, the hostess was like, oh, is there one party or 2? It's nice that they asked, but typically people assume like, oh, so a party of 4, because we're standing by each other. So the same happens with this. Are these 2 related? No. They're not related at all. Again, a business owner had work. It was removed and put into the 8A program. When something is put into the 8A program, and let me know if you knew this. If y'all knew this, type yes. When it's put in the 8A program, it's supposed to stay in the 8A program. Did you all know this? If you knew this, type yes. Type yes in the chat. Or if you're watching the replay, restream, type yes. And for all my amazing people out there, it's Kizzy News Network. winnerswaybook.com. Don't forget, pre-order, get all the free things now. winnerswaybook.com. So if you knew that, type yes. And that's okay if you didn't know that. Once something's put in the 8A program, it stays in the 8A program. If you knew that, type yes. Okay, going to the comments, I'm going to finish my story here. And I want to talk more about this because I totally understand. I understand why there's this assumption that, oh man, they're coming for us, the Supreme Court justice, colleges, now the 8A program. I'm here to tell you, there have been many lawsuits regarding the 8A program. There was a lawsuit that happened like shortly before I got my 8A or around the time I got my 8A. And the Navy, they would not sole source 8A work as a result. They were like the only agency who wouldn't do it. Which is ironic because my flagship company has about a $2 million effort on one of our joint ventures with the Navy, because time went by. About 7 years later, we ended up getting some sole source 8A work with them through a joint venture. So I'm going to take a look at our comments from our amazing GovCon winners here. Kizzy News Network. If 8A is halted, then those whom it was originally made for will logically be left holding the bag and locked out. So I addressed part of that, and I'll address more, Chris. If you apply for the 8A program, this is what I'm hearing. This is what sources are telling me, y'all. Dig into this. Sources are telling me the following, that you're going to be required to provide facts and evidence that you suffered social disadvantage that has negatively impact your entity or advancement in the business world. In other words, an essay. You're going to have to be able to describe it. There's no longer this presumption that you fit a category, it's presumed. Because again, not everyone has experienced something. That's the other thing. That's just something to think about, okay? For legacy, I mean, definitely, whatever you think is right, definitely fight for your rights by all means. But I'm going to share this with you, because I know y'all are wondering, is this going to impact the other set asides? But before I go there, I want to drop another bomb on you, because that's what we do with Kizzy News Network. We're dropping all this because this is where I'm providing the number one source for all small business dues impacting all of us in government contracting. So get ready for this, okay? So you have Alaskan Native concerns and Native Hawaiian organizations. This does not mean somebody who is an Alaskan Native or who's a Native Hawaiian or Native American. This does not apply. This is not what that means. This is at a grand, like a more grand level, okay? So listen up, y'all. They can spin off endless 8As. So Native Hawaiian organizations will buy into 8A firms, become majority owner. You're now minority owner. But both of those types get $100 million sole source, no question asked DOD, and I believe 25 mil sole source non-DOD, no questions asked. So why would these two type of entities want the 8A program to go away? And on top of it, they often are billion-dollar organizations, right? So you have the big mama and a papa, right? $1 billion spinning off little babies, little baby 8A, let's buy us an 8A, let's buy another 8A, let's do this. Who do you think is providing money to politicians? Who do you think is partnering with large businesses? It's these ANCs and Native Hawaiian corporations or organizations. That's who. So for those of you who wonder or think, oh, it's going to go away, it's not going away, because these two groups, and when I say groups, please keep in mind, I'm not talking about Native Hawaiian people and Alaskan Native people. I'm talking about ANCs, NHOs, okay? They would never want this to go away. They're paying all of this money. I'm sure any of us could easily go online and look to see what their contributions have. They probably even have PACs. So there's no need to worry about, oh my gosh, this program's going away. Because think of why it was created. It was created to help small businesses be able to compete with large businesses. That's why the 8A program was created. And you're right, Iron Body. They're lobbying like no others. Wouldn't you lobby like that? Imagine if you had the ability, let's say you sell your majority ownership to a Native Hawaiian organization. Who are you going to lobby for? The little 8As over here that get 9 years, or you who you can keep spinning off 8A firms like Terminator or some movie where they keep spawning off stuff? Who are you going to fight for? You're going to fight for you. That's why this woman fought. Listen, I'm not saying I agree with this woman. I don't know much about the situation other than what I read. I want everyone to know, be aware of the magnitude of this. This isn't just simply, oh, this is an 8A program. They're coming after us because we're Black people. That's what they did with Supreme Court. Look, here they go again, trying to take stuff from us. This is not that. This is way bigger. So y'all understand that this is way bigger? Type yes for those of you who are still here, and I appreciate y'all being here with me. Type yes if you understand that this is much bigger. We're talking billions of dollars. The vast majority of 8A work, it's set aside. It's set aside. It's directly awarded. It's not competed. That's why I preach so much about planting seeds and having a strategy. I'm so passionate about this because I know it has changed my life and I see what it's done with others. I met a man who sold his company to a Native Hawaiian organization. He doesn't look like me. He looks like my brothers. My brothers have a different dad. You can go check out Kizzy Shopping Network and see Steven. We have the same mama, but different dads. And we just don't look alike. We have nice, similar smiles, though. And we're really cute. I call him my twin, you know. And it's nice because everybody thinks he's older. I love Steven. Love you, Steven. So, hello, everyone. And I'm so glad y'all are here. Oof. I'm really passionate about this. So, for those of you just joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. This is Kizzy News Network. And I've been awarded over 70 million in government contracts, and I'm a graduate of the 8A program. I actually have an 8A joint venture. I'm creating new joint ventures. If you are in the 8A program and you want a joint venture, please contact me. Okay? I'm the #1 source for all government contracting news, strategies, everything for us small business owners. Yes, the 8A program is halted. If you are in the middle of applying, it's going to take some time. For those of you who are like, oh, whatever, Kizzy News Network, that's fine. You're not going to be able to apply. You're not. Because they haven't even presented the actual decision yet. So who knows what else will happen? So here's what I suggest that you do. Keep in mind, we can only control ourselves. That's it. Just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, hello, Cherie. Hello, everyone. Also keep in mind that there are other set-asides. And for those of you just joining you who haven't checked out winnerswaybook.com, I'm going to put the link in here, winnerswaybook.com. Now is the time to pre-order because when this book comes out, I'm not giving away any free bonuses. Amazing free bonuses, videos, checklists, all these amazing things. And also, hi, Tiffany. Yeah, the 8A program's halted. We got a lot to talk about. Listen, I'm so fired up. I'm not even going to my little fitness coaching I'm supposed to be at right now. So fired up about this because so many people are concerned and wondering and assume that this is connected to the recent Supreme Court ruling. It is not. These are completely separate things. So focus on what you can control. Number 2, any set aside, it just helps you decrease the competition and increase your win rate. That's what it does. That's what it does. What's up, Rob? Oh, don't worry about Iron Body Sense. I'm going to hop on there. It's an hour-long call. I'll be on there. It's a group call. So keep that in mind. Do I think that this, because there's a question in here, do I think this will impact the other set-asides? Hub Zone, woman-owned, veteran-owned. I think, and I'm actually surprised this hasn't happened yet. I think the way that people define themselves as a woman is going to have an impact on the WOSB. I'm not sure, you know, you would have to let me know. And if you ever have breaking news tips or you want to join my community, go to text 305-853-94981. 30, here, I'm going to put it in here. 305-853-9481. Text and join my community. type KNN, Kizzy News Network. That's what I think, if anything. I did recently come across a situation with HubZone. There was something that came up with that. I'm collecting all of the information to review it for everyone so I can provide an educated summary and response to that. For those of you who may be unfamiliar, here on Kizzy News Network, HubZone is based on where your business is. So for instance, I'm here in Melbourne, Florida in my office. We have multiple offices here in the headquarters. And this office is located in a hub zone. So there's a hub zone map. You type in your address. And I believe 35%, what's up, Deeds, Leans? 35% of your workforce must also be in a hub zone, but you have to verify with your driver's license. So while we're here in a hub zone, I have one team member who lives in a hub zone area. You know, cue, dun, 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 dun. You know, I'm about to get the little sound stuff. As you know, we're going to have an amazing studio. Don't worry. Before you know what I'm going to have, and you're going to be like, damn, Kizzy really talks things into, you know, into happening. She talks it out. I manifest, y'all. Manifesting is no joke. What's up, Brian? What's up, everyone? What's up, JC? I love it. So when it comes to the hub zone, yeah, there's things. I think it was the very first case or recent case that came up. So I'll have to look into that. Service disabled, veteran-owned set-asides. I mean, I think the only impact there would be around someone losing it or something of that nature. But the 8A is one where you have so much money at stake. So much money at stake. So that is one reason, of many reasons, is controversial. But keep in mind, the people who own Native Hawaiian organizations and Alaskan Native concerns, they don't look the way you think they would look. And I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just saying, this is business. Billions of dollars, over $500 billion are spent every year in government contracts. And as I shared before, if you are a Native Hawaiian organization, who are you going to root for? Other Native Hawaiian organizations. It's just how we are. It's how we are as human beings, okay? So Todd, yes, you can, and anyone who needs to email me, chat@kizzyparks.com, chat@kizzyparks.com. Also, I'm going to put this here in a second. So winnerswaybook.com, check it out. I'm going to cut away in just a moment. But to summarize, what's up, Patrick from LinkedIn? Hey, I love it. To summarize, the 8A is halted. If you have an application, anticipate that they're not going to make a decision and that they're going to require the following. I am reading this because there was a court case in the great state of Tennessee where a woman had worked with the USDA. It was taken and put into the 8A program. And once something's put in the 8A program, it's supposed to stay there for life. And it seemed like a lot of work was put in the 8A program. And I have some thoughts around that. I'm going to actually share a couple of things. And so she went after the 8A program because there was presumption that if you were in a certain category that you had received kind of adverse or suffered negatively because you were born into being Asian, being Black, being Hispanic, things of that nature. But keep in mind, when I applied for the program in 2011, that wasn't the case. So somewhere between 2011 and 2023, that changed. Okay, everyone? So that changed. So what will happen, for those of you who have an active application, more than likely you will be required to submit a narrative. This is something I did to demonstrate by presenting facts and evidence that you suffered social disadvantage that has negatively impacted your entry or advancement in the business world. That's what it's about. And for those of you who are looking to apply, it's halted. When you go to apply, you're probably going to be asked to do this as well as whatever else comes out from the judgment. I'll keep my eyes peeled. And because of your votes, you want me to bring on somebody to talk about this. I will look into bringing somebody on. Maybe I'll interview him. I'm not sure. It's going to be him just because of the people that I engage with. There's a couple I have in mind to see if they're going to, if they're open to having conversations about this. Is this something to be extremely concerned about? No. And here's why. Listen, this is Kizzy News Network. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm not here to sugarcoat some stuff. Client relations. I don't know what happened with that woman's business and the USDA. I have no idea. All I know is this. The contracts in which they made changes was typically due to something Dr. Kizzy Parks, did. So that's why client relations is important in the federal government space. Super important. It's like an election. Soon as you get elected, what are politicians looking to do? Win a re-election, unless they're termed out. That's what it is about. Okay? I'm just putting that out there. Again, I have no idea. I'm just saying these are my views. I'm an outsider. I don't know what's going on, but these are my thoughts. JC, yeah, I mean, there's always controversy around ethnicity and gender because it adds to what we love as people. In and out groups. I mean, we like in and out burgers too, but in and out, in group, out group. We love it. I mean, the greatest example is WWE. I love WWE. I grew up watching it with my dad. I was a little Hulkamania maniac. I was all into it. I loved like Macho Man and Elizabeth and all of those wrestlers. I mean, I loved all of them. Junkyard Dog, so many memories. And they really understood and still understand the plane of the good and the evil, the in and the out, insider, outsider. And so it's one of the easiest ways to try to divide people. But people who know and have resources to leverage, they're fine. Alaskan Native Hawaiians. So why should the rest of us be worried if I don't see that they're worried? Because again, the 8A program came about to help small businesses. That's the whole point of it. The social disadvantage piece was added later. So again, yes, JC, that happens because it's easy to do that. I know I loved Andre the Giant. I love it. JC and I are on the same wavelength with wrestling. So here's again what I suggest you do. If you qualify for the Woman-Owned Small Business Program, apply. If you qualify as a service disabled, apply. If you may qualify for HubZone, listen, I'm going to give you all the HubZone link right quick, and then I'm going to join my call. And I'm going to give you all a link to a challenge that I'm hosting I actually host this every week. I mean, I misspoke, y'all. I host this every month. So just give me a second. So that's the HubZone. If you're not service disabled, but you're veteran owned, apply for that. If you're interested in state level contracts, apply for the set asides there. At this point in time, this is what I would do. If you're an 8A and you're looking to potentially partner with someone like myself and form joint ventures, send me an email. Let me know. I want to get to know you, because you have to have your 8.